An SUV that has performance that's not going to break the bank account. Mini of Wesley Chapel has given us the 2023 Mini John Cooper Works Countryman All4 in your chili red. New this year, you can customize this thing with all different paint options. We have the Icon Trim 2.0, which gives the piano black gloss elements to the exterior. Inside, full redesign from last year, giving a modern twist to the Mini brand, going against rivals like your Mercedes AMG GLA 45, your Volvo XC40, and you could go all the way up to the Recharge. The difference between those and this, you're gonna save money. You're gonna get the performance. You're gonna get the towing and the room for 5. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. I'm gonna go over all the specs and details, starting now. The new Mini John Cooper Works Countryman All4 is definitely going to be something that presents itself more dominant and performance driven with a modern twist, starting with the front fascia, Icon Trim 2.0. So everything's going to get the gloss black for the grille surrounding it. You'll get the matte black in the interior with the John Cooper Works badging. The badges, gloss black. On the lower trim, matte black. Everything opened up so that way you can just really feed the air into this twin power turbo. LED tail lamps with the Mini badging, gloss black around it. Get the matte black surrounding 19-inch John Cooper Works circuit. Because of that iconic trim 2.0, we're getting sports suspension, performance summer tires. These are Pirelli P0s, 225/45 on all 4 corners with Brembo brakes with the red calipers. On the lower sill, gonna get the gloss black and the All4 badging with the mirror cap, and on the top for your A-pillar and for the rear with the lower roof spoiler. Unfortunately, they don't give you the gloss black for the shark fin antenna. You get the silver that's going to wrap around all of the Mini. The gloss black goes around your Union LED tail lamps, the Mini badging, John Cooper Works badging with the Countryman blacked out. On the lower trim, you get the gloss black in between these dual exhaust outlets. A short but bulged hood, stressing performance, signature side scuttle with the gloss black, and your John Cooper Works badging in front of that grille pattern. Dynamic stability control, strut front suspension with coil springs, a multi-link rear suspension with coil springs. Both the front and the rear will have your anti-roll bars. JCW team has stiffened the ride and tuned this suspension. A length at 169.8 inches with a wheelbase, 105.1 inches, which is making this the shortest SUV comparing it to the rivals. It's also going to be lighter weight, just a hair over 3,600 pounds because this is the JCW, and the iconic trim is definitely something that I would add to my Mini because everything gets that blacked out appearance. Towing around 1,500 pounds, not going to be the best in class, but you can still tow with something that has over 300 horsepower. Going inside to your cargo is not going to be the best because of the length, but it starts at 17.2 cubic feet. You have a 12 volt and a storage area that you can put some bottles, another storage compartment on the side, storage underneath the floor. The rear bench splits at a 40-20-40 split. That's going to max the cargo to 47.4 cubic feet, 301 horsepower out of this Mini twin-powered turbo engine. I want to go inside, start it up, give it some riz so you can hear that exhaust note. Mini giving us an SUV with performance and style, and it keeps that sport heritage all blended in, and they back the performance with a 2.0 liter Mini twin power turbo inline 4-cylinder, producing 301 horsepower at 331 pound-feet of torque that's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, achieving 24 to 30 mpgs. That's good for a 0 to 60 around 4.9 seconds. Now, yes, this is going to be slower than the Mercedes-AMG GLA 45, but that one's going to be about $5,000 more, just MSRP, than this nearly fully loaded. Quarter mile, 13.1 seconds, at top speed over 140 miles per hour. Really, I don't know how much more performance that you would need for an SUV when you're getting these quick numbers, great gas consumption. Comparing it to the Volvo XC40, it's going to beat all of them except for the recharge, and that one would start MSRP over $55,000. So again, the savings, at least $5,000 from base MSRP to nearly fully loaded. Let me know in the comments what you think about the 2023 Mini John Cooper Works Countryman All4 as we go into the interior, go over the tech, and take this for our test. Entering inside the Mini John Cooper Works Countryman All4. It's a sentence, but you know, with this vehicle, I let things slide. Headroom at 40.5 inches, legroom 40.4 inches, Mini Yours leather lounge black bucket front seats, 12-way power adjustment for both the passenger and driver. They're heated. You also have the cushion extensions. Dashboard gets the gloss black around all of your air vents, and I like this pattern that's in the passenger side. It goes to the center on both sides. So paying attention to detail, they did an excellent job, except these 3 dots. 3-spoke leather wrapped steering wheel, multi-function paddle shifters. The gauge cluster can go through an array of information for the driver, and the nice thing is when you change the driving mode, you can see that the color changes as well. Heads-up display comes out of the dash, 8.8-inch touchscreen with navigation. So we have the bench, we got the swipe, click the home button so you can see all the apps in which we have. You can toggle through here. These are your quick apps or wedges. You can click onto the apps, Apple CarPlay, Amazon Alexa. Switch it to reverse. We do have trajectory. You have your front and rear parking sensors. And the nice thing is with that LED lighting around your infotainment screen, you can see it turns a color when you get too close to an object. Also, when you are turning up and down your climate control, you can see it goes to red for hot, blue for cold. You could turn up and down for the climate control. You could do it for your stereo. It does it for the RPM, so very clever system. Dual climate control settings, your rally switches, underneath that a USB, and you get a 12 volt. You have a storage pocket, cup holders. You can fit a 16.9 ounce without any issues. I would say a 20 ounce max. The gear lever is going to have the gloss black, and you get the leather around it, and you get the matte around here. You have for your mini drive, and your elbows are going to be more firm drive, but you expect that because it's a sport vehicle. Open up here, and you got your wireless charging pad. You got another USB-C port and some storage there, and you can rotate this depending on your height. Door panel gets the upgraded Harman Kardon everyday materials, and you got some soft materials with the satin silver aluminum wrapping around into the soft area for your elbows. One touch up and down for all the windows. A large storage pocket with the ambient lighting, and you have a dual moonroof that goes to the back. Let's see how I look back there. For the back seats, I'm at 38.3 inches of headroom, 37.6 inches of leg room. You don't necessarily sit inward, so I do like that because the way you sit is higher up than the front. So I kind of dislike that because for tall people, it just makes you feel a little abnormal in the vehicle. As for elbows, you see there's nothing here. 2 USB-C ports, gloss black around your air vents, storage behind both of the front seats, and the floor is not completely flat. I do like the fact that we have our own sunshade back here and our own moonroof because it just makes it a little bit more luxurious and sporty. The door panel gets your everyday materials. You get the soft materials that wrap around that satin aluminum, and I like how they have this little area here because it looks like a speaker. That's how you get out. One touch up and down for your windows, soft for your elbows, a large storage pocket. Sitting into the center headroom is no issue. Legroom isn't really that bad either. I am sharing feet, butt, and shoulder space. Is it doable? Yes. For a long journey, It actually isn't going to be too bad because it's very boxy inside, so it gives you a little bit more space in the width for the rear. The major thing that I dislike is there's nothing here. However, you can adjust these forward, so you can give optimal cargo space, and you can adjust these back. You can also recline these seats, just you gotta find it, and then you recline back. So it's not really that bad, and I guess if you really have to, again, you just gotta find it. Once you do, you got your happy medium, but then you're gonna sit like this, but I guess it's a little bit more comfortable. Taking the 2023 Mini John Cooper Works Countryman All4 out for our test run. The nice thing about this one is it's tuned JCW suspension, the engine, twin power turbo, 301 horsepower, 331 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 at 4.9 seconds, which is about 0.5 seconds slower than an AMG GLA 45. It's about 0.2 of a second slower than a Volvo XC40 Recharge. Both of those, again, MSRP starts at what this is with almost every feature. So what we're going to do is stop here in the middle of the road. We are going to make sure we have it on sport mode so you can really see what the performance of this bad boy is. Here we go. And the brakes. Minis are fun vehicles. I can't stress it enough. You're not going to get the same pleasure out of other vehicles because the way this vehicle is set up, you're pretty much right on the wheels. And look at this. Just do this all day long. And the exhaust note that you get, it's just uplifting. I mean, it's a fun, playful car. Everyday use, throw it into your comfort or your regular drive, and you're still going to be able to take these corners without any issues. This is really good for an SUV also. And you can tell by the dynamics, they do a great job. I know BMW has taken the vehicle over, but all they've done is added better suspension tuning, better performance to the engine. The interior is more modern and luxurious. The price obviously has increased over the years, but what you're getting in package is unbelievable because when you're comparing it to what I have been throughout the review, those cars escalate into the $60,000+ price point. Visibility, you set up high enough, the ground clearance is good. Towing capacity around 1,500 pounds. It's not gonna be the best. We're gonna try to set it as straight as we can. I don't know if we can do it, but here we go. There you go. There's a Mercedes GLB 250. He was probably thinking, it's just a Mini Cooper. No, this is a JCW Mini Cooper with over 300 horsepower, over 330 pound-feet of torque. It has everything it needs. Now, there is 3 things I like, 3 things that I dislike. Is anything more than that, I'd be buying this JCW. The 3 things that I like is these are the most playful vehicles that you can buy for the price point. Yes, it escalates to $50,000+ when you get all these trim options, and I personally would option it this way. The second thing that I like about it, you get an exhaust note that just goes into the cabin and it just makes you want to pump it more. The last thing that I like is paying attention to detail. Look at this. It's one of the only vehicles I know that you can do this without having to move and adjust. They really do think of everything. On the seats, the Union Jack on the headrest. For the gauge cluster, you get the LED rings. Everything is just so alive in this vehicle. 3 things that I dislike about the vehicle has to start off with the climate control. You have to have it around 75% to nearly 100% blowing in order to feel it around the cabin. The second thing that I dislike about the vehicle goes into the back seats. There's nowhere to rest your arms, elbows, or anything. We have it in sport mode. Let me get back to that. And you can see how quick this bad boy maneuvers. But they do such an excellent job with storage capacity and cubbies. I just wish that they would have maybe made it a little bit more comfortable in the back seat for that. Turn radius and more or less a stop point. Shorter wheelbase, you're gonna get about a lane and apart. We're gonna stop right here and show you what this Mini does. fun. The last thing that I dislike about the vehicle is the gauge cluster is attached to the steering wheel, and sometimes it makes it a little bit tough for the maneuverability in the sense of you moving up the steering wheel. It moves that. You can obviously see it in every angle, but it's very close to the steering wheel. So for the comparison purpose, I do like the Mercedes-AMG GLA 45. I think that is an awesome vehicle, especially with the power drive. It's super quick, $5,000–$10,000 more. This one hands down is going to be a better and more fun driving vehicle for every day. It does have a wow factor, don't get me wrong. There's something about a Mini Cooper, that go-kart feel that it has. Comparing it against the XC40 Recharge 0 to 60, I always talk about how it gets like supercar speeds because it's like 4.4 seconds. It's insane. Comparing it to this is going to be more fun than that, and you only get around 223-mile range. So if you do the T5, your 0 to 60 start going into the 7 seconds. This is faster. The T4 over 8 seconds. So the fun to drive is in this one all day long. Family oriented. Here we go. It's so playful. It's hard to take it out of sport mode. And when you drive a vehicle like these and you're saying that it's hard to get it out of sport mode, it says a lot on the performance that's backed. Comfort, it's good. You're going to feel a little bit more in the road. The steering is going to be artificial. When you put it into sport mode, it's going to get a little bit more weight, so it feels more race driven, especially when you're doing those corners. That's why it's so fun to drive it on sport mode. Also, the exhaust tune that comes and filters in, just hit it right on the head. I'd like to thank Minnie at Wesley Chapel for giving us this 2023 Mini John Cooper Works Countryman All4 for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, what are you waiting for? Click the next video, the subscribe button, check out the details, the merchandise, the website, and everything we do here at Hawkeye Rides.